I'm back at the campsite this weekend. It's the last one, and it was going to be a relaxing weekend, but unfortunately it's going to be rather bittersweet, and I'm just trying to come up with the right words on how I'm going to say all this. The only way I can do it is just be honest, straight to the point. So my marriage is over. It come out of the blue earlier in the week, a few days ago. I had no idea what was going on. Obviously it wasn't my idea. It wasn't instigated by me. It just happened. Over the past few days I've been recording on this thing over and over and over again, and there's videos of me blabbering away and crying and just asking why, and you know, but I decided to delete all of that because you don't want to see that, and I've got to try and have a little bit of dignity about me. But I am hurting more than you know. I mean, I don't know whether you're aware or not, but I am quite an emotional man. I do take things to heart, and anyway. So yeah, I'm pretty distraught at the minute, and not quite sure how to move forward. We was together 16 years and married for 13 of those. So all, you know, again, it's although we didn't live together for the past 7-8 years, whatever it was, we still had a relatively close, well, we did a close knit relationship. But I guess it weren't meant to be. I don't hold any hatred or resentment towards her. I hope sincerely, hand on heart, that she finds a way forward, finds happiness again, and lives her best life. That is God's honest truth there. I want her to be happy more than anything in the world. As well as the love that's been lost, is the future that's been stripped away from me. The future plans are going to live in Wales, whether that be living together with her or still staying in the van and just being closer to her. We often spoke about doing the van life thing together, upgrading to a motorhome, living in that full time. I think that was probably more my idea than hers, but she did seem relatively keen at the time, especially as we enter our twilight years. But now I don't know what path to take. I don't know, everything is still so raw, so new. I find myself, I keep walking at the minute, I keep getting out because I keep getting this feeling in the pit of my stomach. It's like a void, a sickness feeling, and oh, it's so difficult. And the images that appear in my head, you know, I have to get out and walk it off, but it's not easy. Sleeping's not easy. Sleep has been eluding me for a while now. Get about an hour at a time and then wake up, and you just, I don't know, for the first few nights I was on the verge of panic, you know. Luckily I still had some Valium, which was given to me a while back, but it didn't really take the edge off, to be honest with you. Maybe I should have took more, I don't know. With Christmas coming up in a couple of months, That's something I'm going to find painful, because Christmas was a great holiday for me. Enjoyed it for many years. It was just a good time. That I took a majority of my holiday from work off, good bit of time off. We spent it together, didn't have to go anywhere. It was just fabulous. Now this Christmas, I don't know what's going to happen. My son said that I could stay at his, but I don't know whether that's the right idea. Yeah, I don't think I could join anyone on their Christmas, because I'm going to be too heartbroken, you know, just sat there watching other people enjoy it. And no, I need to be on my own. I need to battle through this somehow on my own. So the only idea that I've got is going to Hertford campsite, because they are open over Christmas, where they're open 365 days. So maybe that could be an option for me. Stay there for a few days, you know, just isolate myself, because I know if I was to be anywhere else, I would 100% be going to pieces. So I might have to think about that. I know there's never a right time for a breakup, but it couldn't have come at a worse time for me, because of this health stuff, you know, with the blood pressure and the panic attacks and the anxiety, all of that, you know what I mean, on top of now this. Oh fucking hell, I'm telling you, I mean, I'm keeping pretty calm on camera, but I have lost the plot a few times now. I had to isolate myself at work, keeping away from people. Anyway, so as I said, I made a load of videos right from the beginning. I was sat in one of the buildings at work where I based myself, and I'd got there at 5:30 in the morning, and I just sat there and just started to talk to the camera. I haven't, when I didn't watch it back, I've deleted the footage now, along with a bunch of other stuff, right up until this afternoon. I went for quite a walk this afternoon, because I finished early today, and I've been out walking the fields and voicing my opinions and feelings and things, but then realised I might be doing more harm than good if I was to upload it. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear me babble on all the time. I even sat in a church this afternoon. There's a church at Radwell here, just up the road, and it's open 24 hours a day, I think. And I sat in there, done a little speech on the camera, then I just sat there for, oh, God knows how long, and stared at the windows and the cross, and well, you can imagine, can't you? I'm not going to make continuous videos about this, because it's just going to end up being a very depressing watch, just like this one is. But this will probably be the only one I do with this amount of speech. Maybe I will, well, it's inevitable, isn't it? I'm going to let bits and pieces go about moving forward, if I can. But for now, like this weekend, I don't know, like I say, it's Friday evening now. Just had my tea, going on a bit of a walk through the woods and that, just to walk it off. My appetite's not too good at the minute neither, not at all. I cook a meal, but end up leaving half of it now. Blood pressure, I haven't checked. I've stopped taking the blood pressure medication as well. I know it's wrong, I don't know, I've just lost my way a bit, I think. As for tomorrow, I have no plans. I'm gonna have to walk somewhere. So I'm enjoying the walking again at the minute. It's not too bad. Not, you know, I'm not including the breakup stuff, but walking, I seem to have found my mojo again. I've been doing 10,000 steps for a couple of weeks now, and it's becoming a bit easier now. Yeah, but as for tomorrow, I'm not sure. I'm going to cook myself a roast dinner tomorrow. I've got some gravy and some potatoes, which I can put in the air fryer, and I've got some, what do you call it, like sliced beef. This was recommended to me by an ex-partner of mine the other day. So yeah, I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to make a Saturday roast. But as for the rest of the day, I don't know. Probably walking again, whether it's around here or down into Baldock, or maybe I'll go back up to the church. I don't know. But I've got to try and do something, because when I sit down for too long, the thoughts in my head are very painful, and they can be, well, they have been very dark as well. I'll quickly go through this next bit about what I mean about dark. I spent the past few days as well in my free time doing researches on how to move on, and mental health, and stories of men that have gone through divorce and breakups and such like. And there's this one woman, and I can hear her voice in my head now, and what she said resonates with me quite bad. Is men that have committed suicide, obviously men are, was it 10 times more likely to commit suicide than women, and then they get called selfish for doing what they do, leaving family and friends and loved ones behind. But then she got so angry and was saying about, she hopes all these people that have called this person selfish for committing suicide, that they've never had to deal with mental health issues, you know, never had that demon running through their head. And because I think it will change your opinion on suicidal thoughts, why people do what they do, especially when they're in pain, and definitely when they reach my sort of age. Now let me be clear on what I'm getting at about men my age. Over 50. Fewer years ahead than there are behind now, obviously. So moving on is a very difficult one to comprehend, you know. Moving on after 50 for me is difficult, because I don't know whether I can, I don't know whether I can go through any more torment, you know. I don't know, there's so many uncertainties, you know. If I was ever lucky enough to find another woman that found any interest in a bloke like me, I worry that I'd never be able to trust that person, or wouldn't let them in. Because going through a breakup like this is exactly like losing someone to the grave. And that's where I am, going through a grieving process, and it's really difficult. And I'm sorry the camera's shaking, but it's gonna. So yeah, it's going through the grieving process, and like I say, I don't know how to move forward. Not saying that I would cut my life short, but it's definitely ran through my mind a good few times now. And I've thought about how I would do it. I've got the tools to do it now, you know, all the blood pressure medication, just overdose on that, and I thought about locking myself away. And oh, anyway, you don't want to hear that, but The thoughts are there, but I'm trying my damnedest to keep strong. But believe me, it ain't fucking easy. No, it's not easy. I've cried more than I've ever cried before. I'm not ashamed to admit it, you know. I know some people say, oh, men are not meant to cry, but bollocks. Yes, I did a lot. Sometimes when you when you least expect it, you know what I mean? Just something small can fucking trigger me. Something small. Walking around the supermarket was difficult anyway, but now I'm in such a daze, and I just stand and look at things I don't want, and I can't focus on what I'm going in there to buy. It's so strange. Everywhere feels uninteresting. I've got no interest in anything really at the minute. You know, I can't focus on watching any TV or anything at the minute, or films or nothing. I just been scouring, doom scrolling TikTok and YouTube for advice, which is quite although there's lots of advice on there, but there's a lot of different advice and conflicting things, you know. So fucking hell, I think you got to do what works for you, ain't you? Obviously that's different. Everything seems quieter now as well. As we lived apart, as soon as I'd wake up in the morning, I always check my phone to see whether she'd sent me a message, and if she did, happy days, quite content. But then later on in the morning, I'd always get that phone call when she was out walking the dogs. Sometimes that would be a quick 45-minute chat. Sometimes we've been on the phone for the entire day, which was fucking awesome. You know, it was really good. But now the silence, now I look at the phone and it's like I'm waiting for it to go, but I know it's not gonna, you know. Not from the person I want it to be anyway. And this leads me on to the next thing that's caused me to shed a good few tears, and that's the fact that I'm never going to see those beautiful dogs anymore. Even saying it now is fucking difficult. In the van, I got a big blanket thing with pictures of them all over it, and I, through the cold months, I'd sort of hang it over the door of the van, you know, just to use it as a draft excluder. But I've had to put it away because I can't see them anymore. I can't look at the pictures. It's like on my work phone, they were my screensaver, you know, the wallpaper, sorry. I've had to take it off because I looked at it and it just done me, you know. Really really destroyed me. In the van I had little knickknacks as well, like little things that she had bought me, you know, like Valentine's Day stuff and a few signs and just nice stuff, you know. I also had a bottle of that So perfume, and because she used to wear that, I used to have that in the van as an air freshener. It made me feel better. The van smelt of her, and I don't know, it just sort of brought a bit of warmth to me. But obviously that's had to go now. I know, again, it probably sounds completely fucking batshit crazy to a lot of you, but for me it meant something. And obviously I'm right in this beginning stages of grieving, and like I say, I'm trying to do one day at a time, but it's so fucking difficult, and I don't know, I keep losing it. Just keep losing it. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about it now. I'm becoming blissfully aware I could keep talking about this for hours to come, but I know it's probably the wrong thing to do. especially uploading it, you know. So I've said my piece, I've said what's happened. I'm a bit of a wreck right now. Hope to come out the other side. So I'm going to leave this video here. I might film on Saturday and Sunday if I do anything, but I'll upload them as separate videos. But for now, thanks for listening to me.